Welcome to Warehouse Automation Matters. I'm Mary Hart, and I'm here with Bob Duron, President and COO of nGroup, and Diron and Raines, Chief Strategy Officer of nGroup, to talk about managing and automating holiday returns. Thank you both for being part of the show.
Sure, this is Diron. So we started in 2001 as a third-party logistics provider, and we were very primarily focused on labor management. And all of our solutions were driven around the labor and providing a much better outcome for our clients and customers. A lot of times we would operate within their facilities. We would have industrial engineers come in, redesign the process, really focus on optimizing the labor in the facility, minimize touches, redesign the workflow and the process flow within the facility, and deliver a much more effective cost structure for our clients. We continue to evolve. We've added staffing, we've added assets where we have warehouses, we've added a lot of different components to that, but it all stems from delivering a cost per unit labor model that is a much better advantage to the client's cost structure than what they have historically had.
So let's get right into the topic of automating holiday returns. The holiday season is a busy time for any 3PL, as you guys both know, especially in terms of returns. Can you walk us through the specific challenges that arise with holiday returns and why they're particularly complex to manage?
Well, this is Bob Duron. Primarily, the biggest challenge that you have is volume. So we have significant volume coming through the building. Our operation is 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and there are multiple operations that are happening inside of the facility. That's about 1 million square feet. We have a very large retail client in the facility, and you have multiple operational streams, including return to vendor. You have B2B, you have salvage, you have hazardous materials. You have to perform, inspection, test and grade. You have to do lots of sortation. You have to do lots of put away. You're shipping, you're picking direct to consumer orders and packaging them and getting them out on time. So there is a tremendous amount of moving parts in the building times some exponential rate of volume coming in. And that's what creates the significant complexity in the operation.
Thank you. So, how has automation changed things for your put away processes, especially during peak return periods?
So I think the biggest benefit when you think about ramping up for peak season is you have to do a significant amount of hiring, and so you're bringing on lots of seasonal or temporary associates into the building. You have to train them. You're going to have errors. You're going to have issues that involve quality. You have safety concerns with a lot of people moving around. So those are all the challenges that come with the peak season. But when you take this path with automation, that has a tendency to reduce the number of headcount, number of people that you have to bring on to the building when you're using automation in the most strategic way.
So, what advice would you give to other 3PLs or warehouse operators who are facing similar challenges in managing their holiday returns?
Well, I think the use of automation in an operation like this really simplifies things. Removes complexities of onboarding lots of people, training them, managing errors that are taking place, really allowing yourself to increase the throughput in the building when you're leveraging automation of this type.
I would add that the other opportunity that we've really experienced is the flexibility in adding additional automation or the bots themselves. It's like supplementing our own headcount. So as Bob discussed, we can add 12, 15, 20 more bots to handle that peak volume and allow our employees to stay stagnant in those put away locations. And it's just more bots coming to them. And we're able to get a much higher throughput and capacity in the times when we need it.
So, nGroup is known for its unique approach to labor, particularly with that cost per unit model that you mentioned earlier. How does this approach benefit your clients and potential clients and drive efficiency within your 3PL?
I'd say the biggest benefit in sort of creating a engineered solution for our clients is the combination of the technology using the bots with our staff, our highly trained staff that has productivity goals and productivity objectives. Blending those two really creates a cost effective process for our clients. So I think the combine using that and our ability to track individuals, our ability to track our entire work areas from a not only an efficiency standpoint but from a cost standpoint, it really makes it very powerful using all of those together.
And not only are we delivering a much more substantial benefits case in terms of cost, the other benefit that we've seen with the addition of the bots has been an improvement in our quality and our accuracy. They go to the location that they're supposed to go to. There's no more baker's carts going, and misplacing items because it's going to sit right in front of where it needs to go ultimately. So that's really been a big benefit to us. The other thing is our safety. We have, because as Bob said, minimize the headcount we have in various departments. There's fewer opportunities for people to bump into each other mistakenly or do anything that would create strain on people by pushing those cards. So we've seen a really great performance in our safety in that facility overall.
Diron mentioned a little bit about flexibility and how it's helped you. Do you have any specific examples or case studies of how flexibility allowed you to adapt quickly to changes in demand or client requirements?
I think there's a couple different examples that we can use. Working for large retailers, the business changes and product mix changes, seasonality changes. As you expand product lines, vendor relationships grow. Where we're in this use case where we're using the bots, we have, a significant area that we've created for sortation, and that area is dynamic. It's always changing, it's always growing, it's moving around. We're adding vendors, we're expanding location for vendors. So we have a tremendous amount of flexibility to do that as we, change layouts consistently. So one of the challenges that you have if you have a building that may be automated and with conveyance, that it's not easy to move conveyance around. So we have tremendous flexibility with the bots to sort of reconfigure the operation for the needs at that time. And so we're in that constant flux of adjusting and running the most efficient operation we can to optimize our throughput.
So, customers, what do they say about the flexible solution that you offer, if they've seen it or if they've heard about it?
Yeah, the unique part about working with our clients is we believe in having great partnerships. So we have full transparencies. We partnered with our retail partners and our locus partners, and sometimes we've created instances where we've all been together, kind of talking about the benefits. And in our case, our client has also become interested in our solution. So we're really excited that it's had such a profound impact, again, for quality, for safety, for flexibility, for throughput. In every way, it's been it's been absolutely beneficial for us and our client.
And I would add that one of the things about this return center. It's enormous, and we've combined our client nGroup and Locus to deliver the solution. And we're all using what we think will happen in the facility. And one of the big assumptions was how much conveyable versus non-conveyable product we would actually get through the facility. So the non-conveyable percentage has gone up pretty dramatically versus what the expectation was. And as Bob said, if we were to install conveyors and assets that are fixed, we would have really struggled with being able to meet the demand that we needed to, given the change in that mix. Fortunately, the robots are very dynamic, and we were able to pivot.
So, one of the standout aspects of your operation is the integration of multiple technologies, including TACT, OptiTurn, and Locus Robotics. Can you explain how this integration enhances your operational visibility and ultimately the service you provide to your customers and potential customers?
We've really focused on delivering a comprehensive solution for our clients. Obviously, our focus has been on optimizing the labor and making sure that we are as efficient as we can be to deliver the most effective cost for our clients. We've recognized that by partnering with others that have different capabilities, that we can deliver a much more powerful outcome. So OptiTurn is the WMS and returns solution that we have in the facility. It is extremely dynamic. It has a lot of dispositions and channels. It really maximizes our clients' recovery abilities for the return itself. And it gives us really clear visibility into all areas of the operation on where that product exists, so that we have a real clear chain of custody. So that's been a powerful solution. We've integrated TACT. It's our labor management software. It not only integrates with OptiTurn, it integrates with our timekeeping system, it integrates with Locus, so we can see what the productivity is for all the employees and the assets in the facility at a real-time level, so that we can address any sort of shortcomings that we're having in a department or in an individual, and really make sure we change the outcome real time, so that we can deliver what we prescribed to our client. And then finally, obviously, Locus and having the automation in there has allowed us, our traditional approach was we could deliver a 10 to 20% cost savings to our clients. We can double that with the integration of Locus. And we are the ones that are capitalizing that expense on our clients' behalf. So there's no outlay of cash to install the automation, to integrate the automation. We are delivering a comprehensive business case that includes the integration of the technology, the integration of the automation, the integration of our labor management solution, to deliver a really powerful business case for our clients.
I think that was well said, Darren. And the only thing that I would add to that is that when we come to an agreement with our clients, we commit our cost per unit, typically contractually. And sometimes we agree to continue to improve on that cost per unit. And so we have to continue to find innovative ways to do that. Using those technologies allows us to be as competitive as we can be, with a constant relooking at how are we driving costs down for our clients. And that's really ultimately what creates, this powerful solution of these technologies together.
Let's go back and talk about safety a bit. You covered it a little bit earlier, but safety is clearly a priority for you, and you've achieved a remarkable milestone of 1 year without any OSHA issues. How has robotics and automation played a role in enhancing safety for your team and the teams of your clients?
So first I would start out by saying nGroup already had a culture of safety, and our client has a culture of safety. So That was one of the primary objectives when we entered into this relationship. We were going to have a safe environment. And when you have a lot of people moving around in a building and you have equipment moving around the building and you have all these complexities in there, it's inevitable that you're going to have issues. Well, when you introduce the robots, they drive safety, there's structure, there's the complement of the technology and the people. We really sort of started out by educating our folks what was coming. They accepted that they work with them side by side, and it's really enhanced our ability to drive our safety because the bots are safe themselves, and our folks also understand how to operate side by side with the bots. And so it's really driven an environment of less traffic of heavy equipment, very clear structure around where the humans are and where the bots are. And so that has really just enhanced our ability to deliver a safe environment. So for the entire building, we are very proud of that. Our client is very proud of what we've delivered. And so it's pretty exciting.
How do you see the relationship between automation and improved associate job satisfaction or retention rates?
I think that part is really interesting because again, you have to have adoption. We did a lot of education about what the bots were there to do to help us. And when you simplify jobs, when you make it easier for a person to be accurate, right? Because before there's complexity when you're transporting things around to different areas and stuff. The bots really simplify that. They go where they're supposed to go and they make it very simple right in front of you. You're doing a lot less of pushing, as Diron was explaining, pulling, lifting. Things are more on a level playing field for in terms of how people are handling product. And so it just creates a much more attractive job that you do every day, every hour, and I just think it's really increased our morale in our building.
So, looking forward, what trends do you see that are shaping the 3PL and reverse logistics landscape in the next few years?
Well, definitely, I think that the flexibility, as Dyron was talking about from the very beginning, is powerful. Let's face it, the retail landscape changes constantly. And as you adopt to that, it does require you to be very flexible inside of your buildings. Everybody knows committing to a building that is fixed in some way, either through a conveyance or some sort of a pick module or something like that, that creates structure that is hard to adapt to unless the business doesn't change a whole lot. I think there's certainly places where you do need to do that. But in the EPL world and environment, I think flexibility is absolutely critical. So that's one aspect of trends that I will see. You have to be extremely flexible. The other trend is labor is always a challenge, and the battle for labor is constant out there. Having automation and technology that you can blend together to ensure that you can always deliver on throughput commitments is absolutely critical, and it's a growing trend where the missing expectations is not something that clients are looking for out there. And then finally, I would just say that cost continues to be a challenge for us as we face, the challenges of the country that we all face, and that is ensuring that we're driving costs down. And so that is the mindset that is going to be continue to be very competitive out there in the industry, is driving down costs and efficiency and throughput.
And as a last question, let's go back and talk to any potential customers that are out there or retail organizations that might be considering nGroup or now want to consider nGroup as a 3PL after listening to this. What would you like their key takeaways to be from this conversation?
I would just say that what we have created there, and again, there's been a lot of learning that's taken place, And there are these relationships that have grown between Locus, ourselves, in this particular case, OptiTurn, Tact, and having all of these technologies that we can deliver in a kind of a turnkey solution. Certainly, we have the ability to provide, infrastructure, building, material handling equipment, whatever it is. But more importantly, for a very specific solution, we can deliver a turnkey solution that is powerful, and it is very flexible, so it can fit into a lot of different things. That's a tremendous offering that we have that we would love to explore with anybody out there.
Thank you so much. And thanks again to Bob and Diron for joining me today. I appreciate it. It was a great conversation. And thanks as always to our listeners. We're here to help you move what matters in your warehouse.